Okay, to anyone that's on YouTube right now, we're a bit early. We're just logging in and making sure everything's working. If you could maybe pop in the comments. Thanks, Andy. Hello. If you could just pop in the comments that you can definitely see me and that you can definitely hear me as well. I know I think it's just you, Andy. If you could just let me know in the comments, my love, that would be very handy. And that you can see everything. That's okay with you. Hi everyone, I am just setting up. We've got a few minutes, so just if you could let me know in the comments that you can definitely hear me and see me, and also introduce yourself, say hello. I'm just gonna log into the Facebook. But yeah, there's a live chat on the right-hand side, so if you could just pop in a hello and let me know that you can definitely hear me or see me. I haven't seen any comments come through yet, so just let me know. We'll get started in just less than 5 minutes, everyone. If you could possibly just let me know that you're here. And I know there's just a handful of you, but I just want to make sure that you can definitely hear me. Sorry, my face is probably very close up right now. Apologies, that's not very pleasant. Yeah, I think we're good. Fab, cool. Excuse me. Hey, Moira and Stuart, nice to see you. Welcome back. Sorry, what did you say? How is the weather in Warrington, Stuart and Moira? How's it going? Let me know. I'm just going to log on to Facebook now, and we're going to do a little bit better than last week. I hope the setup's a bit easier and better for you. Yeah, should be good. All right, let's get started. Hey, Steve, how's it going? You're on YouTube today. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome back to Spice Club Live Online Cookery School here on Facebook and also on YouTube. And very quickly, just going to pin a comment here. So you might not see me for a second. Bear with me. Where are we? Let me pin you. Great, lovely. So if you are here, please tell me that you are. Let me know where you're tuning in from, that you can hear me. I'd hate to do this whole class and then at the end to realise that no one could hear me and you could just see me waving around, because I do talk with my hands a lot. So hi, how are you doing? Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. Hi, Andy. Hi, Mom. And also, if you can do me a very, very small favour, if you're on Facebook, if you can share this video. If there's a little arrow that says share, if you can share this, and we can get other people cooking as well, and we can kind of cook all together. So yeah, new time of 6 o'clock today. We thought we would, I thought that a lot more people are working now, so we thought let's move it a little bit later, people getting in from work, and then this could be part of dinner, I guess. So yeah, let me know where in the world you are. Hi, Darren. Hi, Martin, welcome back. Hi, Benny, you're watching with your mum. Whereabouts are you, Benny? Are you in the States? Let me know. Shirley said it's 43 degrees in Tampa. Wow, it's hot in Birmingham today, and yeah, I'm feeling it here, so I can't imagine 43 degrees. What else? Who else is here? Steve, you've got a lovely glass of Argentina white wine. Beautiful in the garden. Hey, Yaz from Edgbaston, you're around the corner. Fantastic. Hi, Christine. Welcome back. Hi, Arpita. How are you? Hazel, good to see you again. Lots of people that are my regulars. We'll just give it a few more minutes and let this populate. Over here on YouTube, who've we got? Moira, yeah, take your time. Get ready. No problem at all. Hi, Jill. You're in Birmingham as well. Are you in the garden? Are you in your kitchen? Hi, Ellie and Xander. You're tuning in from Manchester. So if you are tuning in, let me know. Is this the first time that you're tuning in? Have you cooked with me before on a live? I can recognise some regulars. I know Mike, Hazel, Steve, you guys have been here before. But let me know. Is this the first time? Is anyone tuning in for the first time? And in the comments, if you can let me know, are you cooking with me today or are you just watching? So maybe you could just put a cook or a watch, so I know who exactly is cooking with me and who's watching as well. And then in just a couple of minutes, we'll get started. Hi, Rachel. Welcome back. I know it is unbelievably hot today. It's crazy. I was thinking about doing this in the garden, but then I thought I probably wouldn't be able to see the reflection of the screen. Deborah, you're tuning in from Shropshire. Amazing. Alfie cooking. Amazing. Denise, welcome back. Every single week, I think Denise and Hazel have done every single one. Shirley, you're finally cooking. Yeah, after watching for a few weeks, I hope you're feeling better. Rachel, you've already made the Bombay masala sandwich. Amazing. Is that a starter? And are these the mains? Or how are we rocking it tonight? Denise, you're cooking. Matt, you're cooking. Awesome. Anyone on YouTube? You guys, Moira, you said that you're cooking along. Ali, are you watching or are you just cooking? We've got Christine and Abby in Warrington as well. Quite a few people in Warrington and quite a few people watching. Andrea, hello. Hi, Nasima. You're just watching today. That's okay. Hi, Diana. Good to see you. Welcome back. And hey, Helen, you are a regular watcher. Yes, you've been to one of our cookery classes as well. So doing sort of an online version today. I think we will get started. Charlotte, you should be okay. I'll let you know how to identify you if those lentils are okay. Cool, lovely. So let's get started. For those of you who are joining me for the first time on YouTube or on Facebook, hello, a very warm welcome to the Spice Club. I'm Monica. Apologies to my regulars who hear the spiel every single time. My name's Monica and I run the Spice Club, which is an Indian cookery school. I have a location in Birmingham, in Digbeth, and also in Manchester, in Whitefield. And I started the cookery school in 2013. And the ethos for me from the get-go has always been to showcase regional home-style Indian cookery. So we're talking Indian food from all over the country, and it really does vary from state to state, north, south, east, west. And within those states, the cuisines vary a lot. So for me, I'm all about telling people here in the West that Indian food is so much more than this blanket term curry that we use. So much more than that. And within my classes, I like to visit a part of India, and that class will focus on that region. And we have, in those classes, we cook, we eat, we talk. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, we're basically about good food with good people, okay? And I'm today going to teach you one of my favorite Indian street food snacks. Now, throughout this lesson, if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask at any point. Pop a comment here on Facebook, also here on YouTube. I will do my best to answer questions, and I will repeat quantities of spices and things like that. If you are cooking along, you will have noted that there is an ingredients list on the Facebook page. I have also popped in there what should be chopped and what should be grated as well. So do have a little look on there if you haven't chopped anything as of yet. But we won't go too quickly. And if you guys spot anyone else has asked a question in the comments and I haven't answered it and you know the answer, just answer it if you don't mind. That would be much appreciated. Okay, so with what I do, I'm all about breaking down this sort of stereotype that cooking Indian food is difficult. And Indian street food can be deemed as being this big, laborious task. And honestly, street food for me is often the thing that I like to go to, the quick snack. And wherever you go in India, the street food is amazing. Do we have anyone that's been to India and actually tried the street food out there? Mandy, don't worry about the mango powder. No, I'll tell you an alternative later on. Let me know, give me a like or put in the comments that if you've been to India and tried some street food. And has anyone tried the Bengali lentil pakora? That's what I want to know. So this is called dale bora. That's the Bengali name for it. I'm pretty sure I butchered the pronunciation with my Mancunian accent, but hey ho. And it's made from these wonderful red lentils. Now these pakoras, as you might have seen on the photo, they're really crispy on the outside, they're soft on the inside, they're spicy and garlicky. And often we eat them in times of monsoon. So I don't think in Manchester it's actually raining, but usually when it rains, it equals make pakoras. It's like the best comfort food ever. So I'm not, trying to force the rain on us, but it does feel quite nice to have pakoras in rain weather. So yeah, red lentils. So if you are cooking along with me, guys, red lentils are what we want. They're split red lentils. And I did ask you to soak them. And I also asked you to wash them 3 or 4 times. It's really important whenever you are cooking with lentils to soak them. To make sure that they are nice and soft and they become sort of live, if you will. These are already soaked, and you can tell if they're soft enough to make a pakora. If with your nail, you can actually split the lentil in half. So I'm just very gently sort of using my nail to break the lentil in half. I'm not sure if you can see that, guys. That's how you know that, yes, these are ready. If they're not doing that and they're still a bit hard, just soak them for a little bit longer, maybe in some hotter water. But yeah, that's when you know. So I have already washed these lentils 2 or 3 times, okay? And I've also got rid of most of the water, okay? So if your lentils are still soaked and they have been washed, just use a colander and get rid of all of that excess water, because when we make the pakoras in the blender, we're going to add water additionally. So we want to make sure there's not any excess water in here. It should be as drained as possible. Natasha, you said that it's going to rain in Manchester soon. Well, hey, actually, you're going to enjoy the pakoras even more. There's something really, really lovely about it, just throwing it down outside and then you're just inside enjoying the pakoras. It's incredibly satisfying. Okay, so have we all got our lentils at the ready, please? If we can have a quick like or a thumbs up on YouTube. I think you guys can do thumbs up over there. And if you haven't got your blender out, if I can ask you to get your blender out. So I've got mine here. This is for anyone that did the Bombay sandwich with me, this is the same blender. A NutriBullet will do the same thing. And I think also for those of you who are my regs in my classes, who have a Tefal Mini Pro, you can probably get away with one of those as well. Okay, so with your blend, let me just check that my blender is on. So turn the blender on. Step 1, turn the blender on, because you're not going to get very far with it off. Okay. And we're just going to pop our drained lentils into the blender. Okay, so I'm going to use a spatula. And if there is any water in the bowl, try and avoid putting that in, because we want to control how much water we add in there. So I hope you guys can see. Great. So I'm just going to pop my lentils as neatly as possible, because I'm always told that I'm a bit of a messy cook. And my mum's watching. My mum's got extremely good eyesight. So yeah, not one lentil. When I used to wash the lentils when I was helping my mum out when she's teaching how to cook, she would check the sink to see if there was any lentils in the sink. So yeah, I've got a feeling she might notice today as well. So I'm just going to do this in a relaxed way. I'm not in a rush. I just don't want to get told off by mum. Now, the nice thing about these pakoras, yes, I've said that, yes, they're Bengali pakoras, but all over India, there is some version of, they'll have their own version of lentil pakoras. In Rajasthan, they have lentil pakoras. Actually, Rajasthani pakoras, lentil pakoras are very, very famous. And they are made from a lentil called urad lentil, U-R-A-D, a split urad lentil. And they've got a nice nutty flavour. They also use that down south. In some parts of the country, they use chana lentils to make pakoras. So if you don't have these in and you have some other lentil in, as long as they're soaked and you can just break them with your nail, actually you could use those as well, just so you know, okay? Hi, Dipesh Bhaiya, tuning in from India. I've got family tuning in from India. I'm feeling a little bit under pressure now that my Indian cousins can get actual proper dal pakoras from the roadside, so I feel like they might be comparing. Yeah, Shirley, that is what lentils are there for. That's very true. Okay, so lentils should be in there. I'll just show you as well, there was a little bit of excess water in the bowl. So I've been really careful not to put that in, because the consistency of this paste that we're going to make is really important. If we put too much water in here, it will make a paste that's so liquidy and so slack that we won't be able to form them into little balls and fry them. So I've got a little trick, just in case we do go over. But ideally we don't want to. Okay, so I've asked you to use about a cup, about 165 grams worth of lentils. Okay, and in terms of water, we're going to go a little bit at a time. I know how much water we need in total, but I don't want you to go overkill. So we're going to do a little bit at a time. Okay, now I have got here a quarter cup. This is an actual measuring cup, and this is 60 mils, okay? Now, if you like to be pedantic and you like to measure, it might be worth actually measuring out 60 mils. We're going to use just shy of 60 mils, okay? When I'm at home, I don't have measuring cups. I just do this by eye because I've made this so many times. I just know what the consistency looks like, and that's what you're going to do as well. Eventually, if you make these again, you know, you'll get the hang of that as well, the more you make them. And I'd like to think that you will make them more than once you eat them, okay? So we're going to put in, I'm going to put in just shy of a cup's worth, so that's roughly around 60 mils. Are we all where I am, by the way? I'm not just racing ahead, just let me know. I know I'm talking a lot here. And I'm only going to put in about 3/4 of what's in here. So this is about 50 mils or nearly a cup's worth. And I'm going to put about 3/4 of this water in here. Okay, so I've still got a little bit in there. I'm just going to save that. I might need that, but we're going to play it by ear. I'm going to put the lid on. I broke the plastic thing that goes here, so I'm using my lid, which is a piece of foil, because I don't want the dal paste to go everywhere, because I'm not that tall. I can't clean up there. Okay, that would be terrible. Delicious. Jackie, you said you've had these before. Yeah, I think we did do them in a class that you came to, Jackie. So now what we're going to do, we're actually going to just grind this into a paste. Okay, so I hope you can see what I'm doing here. It will take 3 or 4 times for us to blend it, and we're going to get a spatula or a wooden spoon just to scrape down the sides. So it will take a few minutes, okay? So let's just blend together first. Okay, so I can see that they're beginning to grind down, but it's still quite coarse, okay? You'd rather be on this side where it's looking a bit coarse than it to look too wet. So I'm just going to show you again. It's looking like it's coming together a little bit, but it's definitely still pretty coarse, okay? So if we need more water, and I know that we need more water, we're going to add it in now. So I'm going to tell you to add in half of what's left in here. So that to me is about a gulp, which is an official measurement, guys. Actually, I think it's more of a sip. I think gulp would be an overestimation. So sip's worth, okay? Are we on board? That's going to go across. Hi, Sathi. So Sathi is actually from Kolkata, which is where these pakoras are usually served up. So she'll be able to tell us if I'm doing this correctly. Okay, so I'm going to go again. So just put a sip's worth in. It's going to go again. All right. And again, we want to scrape down. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for almost like I know it doesn't sound very appetizing, but almost like a toothpaste type of consistency. I know that doesn't sound delicious. And you should be able to still see some lentils, but it should look definitely like a thick paste. Now, I can see a thick paste coming together, but I'm still going to go for another gulp more. This is looking still a little bit too coarse. Let me show you guys over here. We're going to go, this is probably looking a bit too grainy. If I was to feel it, or I could mostly feel grain. I want it to be a little bit smoother than that, okay? So, and I think what I measured out initially is now going to go in the remaining part of that. It's like I've done it before, guys. So this is another sip. This is going to go in. So that was roughly around 50 mils, okay? Just shy of a quarter of a cup. And we're going to blend again, okay? Okay, so let me have another mix. So get your spatula out and scrape down. So, you know, the more you make something like this, the easier it becomes to kind of, you know, gauge what the consistency should be. Now, I'm looking at this, and this looks like toothpaste, so it looks quite thick, like a thick, coarse paste. It's not runny. I can definitely see a little bit of, you know, it looks grainy. So it's a grainy, thick paste, okay? So, do you now understand why we go a little bit at a time? So just to make sure that, you know, we don't go up over. I'll show you when we pour it out into a bowl exactly what it looks like, and I'll show you on a spoon what it should be like. So you'll get a really good idea. So I'm going to empty the contents of this into a bowl. And I'm going to give you another close-up of what the consistency should look like. So let's move this out of the way. So you can see it's not too runny, and you can see what's going into there. Perfect. But there is a way of rectifying just in case you do add too much water, which is if you have got anything like gram flour, which is chickpea flour, or if you've got rice flour. I don't like to use corn flour, to be honest with you, but I mean, that's sort of last case kind of situation. You can use corn flour, just maybe a teaspoon, and I'll show you exactly what the consistency should look like. So I'm going to get every little bit out because I could probably make 2 or 3 pakoras out of what's left in here. So that's why I love spatulas. Always carry a spatula around when I'm doing demos. And we're going to spatula this out. So if you are where I am, if you could just give me a quick like in the comments or a quick thumbs up, just so I know that you are here with me. And let me show you with a tablespoon what we're looking for. Here. That's the kind of consistency that we're looking for. So when it drops as one whole piece. Okay, so if I pick it up with my fingers, I can drop it off and it stays in one piece. Now, if you feel like it's too runny and you can't control the shape of it, you're going to add in roughly around a teaspoon of gram flour. And I have some gram flour here. And you probably add just about a teaspoon, okay? So gram flour is chickpea flour. It's a gluten-free flour. It doesn't take away from the taste. It doesn't dilute the taste. It actually helps to enhance it and makes it even nuttier. So if you can just give me a quick why in the comments just to let me know that, yeah, you're all here. And then we're going to start moving on to the next part of the recipe. So, where are we, guys? Yeah, some of you are where I am. And yeah, we're just looking for this wonderful sort of thick, toothpaste-esque, delicious consistency. Okay, so it's quite thick. And next we're going to make this taste incredible. So it's probably here right now in terms of flavor, and we want to take it up here. Okay, so we're going to add all of our vegetables. Great, I think lots of you are with me now. Alf, Diana, Julie, Jill. Right, okay, lovely. So once you have your dal ground down, we're going to add in our onion. So I asked you to put in about 90 grams. In fact, we'll put the onion in right at the end. So don't put the onion in just yet. If you have, don't worry. But there's a reason why. Okay, so if you first of all pop in your coriander. So I asked you to put in a handful of coriander with stems. Stems have so much flavor, so never de-stem. So I've put my coriander in first. Yeah, I love the color of this batter. It's so nice. Next thing is I asked you to grate 1 large clove of garlic. So if you haven't grated it yet, you can just do that now. I like to use a micro grater. That just gets a nice paste. I've also got ginger. And I always like to go for fresh ginger, fresh garlic, as opposed to those shop-bought jars. You can get those pastes in because they often preserve them in things like vinegar. And that can really add tartness to your dish. Next thing, guys, I've got some finely chopped chilies. Now, I've asked you to put in 1 to 2, depending on your personal preference. So it's really up to you in terms of how spicy you like it. How hot are we liking it, guys? If we can put a hot in the comments if we like it hot, or if we can put a not in the comments if we do not like it not. These, generally speaking, if I was to have these in Kolkata, they're pretty damn spicy when you get them on the roadsides. They're hot in temperature and they are hot in flavor. So yeah, depending on how hot you like it, I'm also going to add in some chili flakes later on. So bear that in mind. Okay, so if you like it spicy, go crazy. And I asked you to put in some onions as well. So about 90 grams of onions, very finely chopped. You don't want big chunky pieces. So nicely finely diced is what we're looking for here. So that's going to go in at the end. So the reason why I asked you to put the onions in at the end is simply because the onions will release water, and that will slacken your paste. So really, onions should go right at the end. So I'm going to pop those in now. We're not going to mix anything yet. So just to give you a recap of here, we've got our ground. Wow, you guys really like it hot here on Facebook. Everyone's saying hot. Apart from Moira, who said not, that's fair enough. You just put less chilies in. Jill said hot, 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 triple hot. And Dina said hot. Okay, wow. Okay, how are we doing on YouTube? Do you like super hot, guys? Let me know. So in here we have our dal paste, ginger that's grated down, garlic that's grated down. We have finely chopped coriander. We have finely diced onion as well. And we've got our hot chilies. Okay. Benny likes it hot. Mandy likes it hot. Okay, wow. Great. We'll get in with those chilies. We're going to get in with the chili flakes. Before we add the spices in, so flavor now, it was here, it's here now, and we're going to take it here. But before we take it here, we're going to heat up our oil. Now, I did say we're going to need oil for deep frying. Okay, so let me move this out of the way so you guys on YouTube can see a little bit better, because I know you guys might get a blocked view. Just let me know on YouTube that you guys can see me. Give me a quick thumbs up for me if you're cooking along. And you guys over here can see everything on Facebook as well. Give me a quick like or yes in the comments. Shirley likes it medium hot. I now want you to, if the oil isn't in your wok, or if you don't have a wok, you can use a small saucepan. You want to put the oil in there. This is probably roughly about 2 cups worth. So roughly about, 4 to 5 centimeters worth of oil. So if you've got a saucepan, you can do it that way. Or if you've got a wok, I just like the fact with a wok, it's easy to deep fry. Now, a lot of people are scared of deep frying. Do not be scared. It's fine. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to show you how you know when the oil's hot enough. This oil can be reused again. And that's why I like to use a small wok as well, because if you're using a big pan or a deep fat fryer, you end up having a lot of oil that you have to store, and we don't deep fry that often generally. So yeah, I like to use a small pan, and then I only have a small amount of oil that I have to control. Okay, does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. Shirley, if you are frying it later, so you can either make it and you're going to half fry it, so you're going to cook it for 2 or 3 minutes instead of 5 or 6 minutes, and then you can refry right at the end if you're not eating them straight away. Or you can just have the mixture ready. Don't put any salt in there though, and you can refry it later on. Okay. So oil, I've got this on a low heat because I'm going to start talking again, and I will do this slowly so we get the spices perfect. Okay, so salt's going to be the last thing that goes in here. I think you guys on YouTube are all with me as well. Fantastic. So got the oil, and I'm using a sunflower oil. This is good for getting at a high temperature. If you don't have sunflower oil, you can use vegetable oil. Anything that's good for deep frying, rapeseed oil is okay. We're going to get this on a low heat. I don't want this too hot, so I'm going to bring that down. So that's on a low heat now. Okay, so let's talk spices to get the flavor of these pakoras absolutely delicious. Charlotte, so Christine, yeah, I just went over the oil, vegetable, sunflower, rapeseed, all will be absolutely fine. Charlotte, you've mentioned how much oil. If you're using a wok, roughly about 4 to 5 centimeters of oil, okay? Let's go with spices now. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is coriander. This is my little twist on this. This is the Rajasthani twist by adding coriander seeds in whole form. If you have coriander seeds, this is the Rajasthani twist that I add to the Bengali pakora. So sorry, Bengalis, I am twisting it a bit, but I think that these taste incredible in here. So if you've got coriander seeds, we're going to do a teaspoon of coriander seeds. Now, if you have either a board and a knife, we're going to crush them. Or alternatively, guys, if you have in your kitchen a pestle and mortar, you can use that as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to break these coriander seeds into a coarse sort of ground state. Okay, so a good teaspoon, like a heaped teaspoon. I'm going to do a pinch more. And we're going to just grind this down so it's just coarse. Another way of doing it, my dad's really good at this because he's got like good dad hands, if that makes sense. You can use the heel of your palm against the heel of the other palm and break it that way. But if you've got a pestle and mortar, you can do that way. So I'm just going to grind it down so it's pretty much just broken. So when you bite into the pakoras, coriander seeds have this wonderful, you can smell it now actually, this citrusy flavour. And it's delicious. When you bite into the pakoras, it adds the most wonderful flavour. So a heaped spoon of coriander seeds are going to go into our paste. And also, if you have coriander powder, you can use that instead. I'm going to do a good teaspoon of coriander powder as well. So if you have just coriander seeds, use 2 teaspoons of coriander seeds. And if you have both, do a teaspoon of coriander seeds and a teaspoon of coriander powder, just for that extra oomph of flavour. And I just ground this down in a spice grinder. I never buy coriander powder. I always grind from the whole spice. The intensity and flavour is not comparable. Okay, so just a little tip for you. If you want to improve your Indian cookery and take it to the next level, grinding down whole spices instead of buying them ground makes a big difference. Okay, so how are we doing, guys? Have we all got our coriander ground? Just let me know. Give me a quick why in the comments. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in some paprika, and we're going to add in about half a teaspoon. Now, in India, they wouldn't use paprika. They would probably use Kashmiri chili powder, which is a chili powder that's really vibrant in colour but very mild. So it's pretty much paprika, okay, in terms of what it does to your food. This is a really good sort of subbing, if you like. I'm going to do a good half a teaspoon of paprika. It's just a mild, plain paprika, not smoked, not sweet. Chili flakes, for those of you guys that were saying hot, triple hot, if you want, you can add some more chili in, and I'm going to do that in the form of chili flakes. And I'm going to put in just about 1/4 of a teaspoon because I put in 2 bird's eye chilies. And I know I like it spicy, but I think that should just about do me. Okay. And now we're going to add in, so a lot of you said that you couldn't source this. This is called amchur mango powder. Again, this is a bit of a Rajasthani twist, a bit of a North Indian twist from this, but I think it adds so much flavour to your pakoras. If you don't know what mango powder is, this is, I know it sounds like you don't know what mango powder is. It's obviously just mango ground into powder, but it's not just typical mangoes that you see in the supermarket here in the UK. It's not the green hard ones. It's the it's a South Asian variety that you get. And when the mangoes are growing and they're raw, they're green and they're incredibly tart. And it's at that stage that they're left out in the sun, or now it's done in factories, and they dehydrate them and they grind it down into mango powder. Now, I'm quite lucky that my grandma, and I've told quite a few people this, who've been to my cooking class, you might know this story, half a teaspoon, by the way. I'm quite lucky that my grandma in India has a mango tree. And so she, in mango season, makes her own amchur. And then when my mum goes over or I go over, we smuggle it through customs. So yeah, this is my Nani G's homemade amchur. If you don't have amchur, you can put some lime zest in, about 1/4 of a teaspoon, or some lemon zest, or maybe even the tiniest drop of lime juice. Not too much, otherwise this will go too wet. Okay. So we've put in, guys, so far, about half a teaspoon of amchur, which is the mango powder, half a teaspoon of paprika, chili flakes to taste, and a teaspoon of coriander seed, and coriander powder as well. I am going to give this a quick mix before I add the salt. What happens with salt is that it helps release moisture. So if I put the salt in right at the beginning, you know, the moisture from the onions will seep out, and it will make this mixture too wet. So just give this a really, really, really good mix, and then we'll add the salt. This is looking really good. You can see. Mandy, you've ordered a spice box. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so we've got a spice box and also amchur on the website. If you ever want to cook and buy from us, you can do. Day, you're going to put in half a teaspoon of amchur, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is add our salt once it's all really well mixed. Can you smell that freshness that's coming through the coriander? We've got fresh coriander, ground coriander. We've got coarse coriander. It's coriander 3 ways, and it smells incredible. So salt-wise, we're going to put in a level teaspoon of salt, and then maybe just a 1/4 or a pinch more I'm actually going to give the paste a quick taste before we fry with it. And I'm now going to bring my heat up slightly on the oil, on the wok, and bring it up to about a medium heat. So continue to mix. I'm now actually going to go in with my hand. And I might need, I'm going to see, I might need a little bit of ground flour myself. So it should be coming together. If it's not coming together, you need to put some ground flour in there, or you need to, if it's too wet, you need to put some ground flour in there. So roughly about a teaspoon or so, okay? Or you can use rice flour, or you can use corn flour. So I'm going to give this a quick taste. It already smells pretty incredible, I must say. Yeah, salt's fine for me. I'm not going to add any more. It's slightly on the sharp side. So in terms of creating a pakora, to know if you need to add any more ground flour or not, you need to be able to create a pakora shape in your hand like this. So I use my fingers, and you should be able to create a pakora, and it should fall into the bowl without crumbling, okay? Now mine is very, very nearly there. Because I have this with me, I am going to add a little bit of ground flour, okay? So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to add in a heap spoon. And if you do find yourself adding a bit of ground flour, that's fine. Just make sure that you might need to add a little bit of salt and chili to make sure that, you know, it's not too diluted in terms of flavour. Give it a really good mix. Nearly there. So the actual paste comes together quite quickly, okay? So yeah, Matt, you can just add a little bit more ground flour. So let me see now. That should be fine. I'm just going to do a very quick temperature test and then make sure that it stays together in the oil. Otherwise, I will add a bit more ground flour. Okay, so in terms of temperature test, guys, what we're looking for, and you guys should be able to see that over there. Did you see that that bubbled when it went into the oil? The pakora, I just tested one in. That's exactly what it's supposed to be doing, okay? So it should stay in that whole form. It shouldn't break, which it hasn't. I'm just going to show you a test because I don't want you to put in all of your pakora batter and feel like you're not sure what the temperature of the oil is supposed to be. Okay, so just as a very quick test, I want you to all just do one. When your pakora goes in the batter, it should come up to the, when your pakora goes into the oil, it should come up to the top and it should bubble. If it sinks to the bottom and it doesn't do anything, it means that it's too cold. Okay, so you need to continue to heat the oil. And also it shouldn't turn golden brown straight away. It should stay light in colour for the first sort of 30 to 40 seconds. If it starts turning too golden, it means that the oil's too hot. Okay, so just test one and then go, yes, okay, I think I'm happy now. So I'm going to put that back in, and you can see that that is enough ground flour because it bound together with no issues. And what I'm doing is, if you feel comfortable, use your fingers. So how are we doing this? So I'm creating I'll show you in a second, YouTube, but on Facebook, let me show you first. So I'm using the side of my bowl to get a little bit of the paste, and I can actually form a proper ball there, okay? I know my hands are a bit messy, so let me just clean them first so you can see, because it all looks a bit orange. But you need to create that on your 4 fingers. Now, if you're thinking, Monica, that's really fiddly, I don't know what you're talking about, I can't use my hands. Just get a couple of tablespoons, and you can create the pakora on the spoon as well. So you can just go from spoon to spoon, and you can actually create the pakora on your spoon, and then using your spoon, you can drop it into the oil. So I'll just show you guys here again on YouTube. I just used my fingers on the side of the bowl to create. And when you're putting this pakora in the oil, keep your fingers away from the oil. You do not want splashback, so be super, super careful. There's zero splashback here. And again, if you think, Monica, this is a bit freaky, just use your spoon and drop it in with your spoon, Okay, so do what feels safe. Make sure your bowl is near your oil. You shouldn't want to be traveling too far. Make sure that your bowl is near your oil. Make sure you've done that test pakora, and you'll be absolutely fine, okay? Deep frying does take a little bit of, attempts to kind of feel comfortable. Obviously, I'm using my hands because I've done it so many times and I feel comfortable now. And I'm not going to overcrowd the pan. I'm going to put in roughly around about 8 to 10, okay? And let them just settle in the oil for the first 30 seconds or so. So this is on a low to medium heat still. And now, once I've given it a little bit of time, I'm going to just check on them. Oh, wow. So you can see they're still light golden. They've not turned dark yet, but they've formed perfectly. Okay, so this might take you an attempt or two. Once you've given it about 20 seconds, you see, yet they're formed. You're now going to bring the temperature up to medium to high. So when they go in, it's at low to medium. They shouldn't sink to the bottom. They should bubble and come up to the top, okay? Hi, Linda, you've just joined in. You've just travelled back from London and tuned in. Fantastic. Steve, you said Mrs. Skidmore says she's salivating already. Fantastic. So I've now got this on a medium to high heat. So do that test pakora. Make sure that, you don't need to add any more gram flour. It's definitely, staying in the oil. And you should be fine. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you are kind of where I am and I haven't rushed on too much. I appreciate that you are working with hot oil. So this is the very first one I put in, guys. This one's ready now. Can you see the colour difference between one that's not cooked yet and one that is? Just to show you properly. So the one on the right, well, on my right, is fully cooked, and the one on the left is about 3/4 of the way cooked. Just to show you the colour difference, can you see that through the camera? So I'm going to take that fully cooked one out. There's also a methodology when you're deep frying on how you take the pakoras out of the oil. Because a lot of chefs, you hear them say, or you read in recipes, remove from oil and drain on kitchen paper, okay? There's a big step that happens in between those two things, and I want to show you that today. So I'm now going to yak this on a high heat, the maximum heat. The last minute or so should be on the high heat, okay? That's what gets you that crisp. If anyone saw on my Instagram page, I did like a sound test when I was breaking them open, and they should be super, super crispy on the outside, and they're nice and soft on the inside. So that's what we're looking for. We'll just give it another minute or so. And then we can do the next batch. So with a slotted spoon, just keep them moving. And keep turning them over. And I can see it's getting that gorgeous golden colour now. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, I'm quite happy to dig in. Has it started raining for any of you guys where you are? So yeah, Gabe, really good question. If anyone remembers just a second ago when I showed you that halfway cooked one, 3/4 of the way cooked one, if you don't want to cook them all now, you can actually take them out when they are half cooked, okay? You can cool them down, you can put them in the fridge, and you can have them in 2 or 3 days' time. You can put them in the freezer, and you can have them when friends come over. So they're half cooked, and you can just have these half-cooked pakoras in your freezer. You've got friends coming over, your pakoras are pretty much done. Defrost them, get your oil on, you've got pakoras ready in minutes. These will be done in just less than about 15 seconds now. So they do not take long to cook at all. I want to take this out, and I'm going to show you if you're cooking them until they're 50% done because you want to cook them later, or if you're cooking them until they're 100% done. This is how you take them out. So you can either use a slotted spoon, and whilst I'm doing this, I've put the temperature back down to minimum. So it's on low temperature now. I can feel how, I don't know if you can hear that, how crispy they are. So if you're on a slotted spoon, or you've got one of these baskets, I think this is called a spider basket, I forget. Spend about 7 to 8 seconds shaking off that oil. So I'll show you guys here. So when the pakoras come out of the oil and they go on the napkin is not drenched in oil. You've got off all the excess beforehand. So let me show you this pakora here. Does that look greasy to you? I don't think the focus is on there. Can I get the focus on there? Can't believe focus. Sorry if that's a bit blurry, but that is not greasy at all. It's very, 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 very dry to touch. So if you follow the recipes that say remove from oil and drain on kitchen paper, they'll be sitting in their own oil and they're greasy. So a very, very small tip makes a big, 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 big difference. Knowing how to deep fry properly means that you actually get beautiful crispy food as opposed to greasy food. Okay, so let's do the next batch. Oh, they smell incredible. Can you hear how crispy they are, guys? Beautiful. All right, next batch. So I had that on a low to medium heat. Before we do that, can we just admire these amazing looking pakoras? Louise, you're doing them for friends coming over tomorrow night. It's amazing. Fantastic. If you guys are cooking, please take a picture of this batch before you eat them. I'd love to see your pictures. I know some of you send messages to me after class going, I really want to send you a picture, but I ate them all. Please, please, please take a picture now because I want to see how we're all doing, guys. So I'm going to do that test pakora again. So remember, to the side. I'm using the side of my bowl if I'm using my fingers. I personally prefer using my fingers. I feel like I've got more control compared to a spoon. But obviously that does take a little bit of practice. So I can see, yeah, I'm resting it on my 4 fingers. My hand is near the oil, but it's not touching the oil because I wouldn't be here right now, I'd be screaming. And I use my thumb to just gently push it in. There's no splashback. It's come up to the top and it's bubbling away. That means I can proceed, okay? And we're going to carry on. So I might be able to do the next batch if I make slightly smaller pakoras. Okay, so they are literally bite-sized. They're not these humongous bargee style pakoras, okay? How are we doing on YouTube, guys? Sorry, I feel like I hope I've been showing you as much and you guys are not missing out over there. It's a slightly better angle for you this week. Last week it was a little bit off angle, so I do apologise about that. And also for those of you that did cook with me last week, we made a South Indian prawn toku, king prawn toku. I think a few of you are here who made it last week. Let me know how that went for you. That was incredible. That was a great class, and you guys helped raise £155 for an incredible charity called Show Races in the Red Card. And I'm massively about advocating all of these important issues at a really young age. And that's exactly what they do. They do workshops for about 50,000 children every single year. And you guys were very kind and generous, so thank you very much for that. Okay, so I'm now put the heat up a little bit, so it's on low to medium now. I didn't want to overcrowd, so that's my third batch that I'll do. But how are we doing, guys? How are we here? Deborah, you made the South Indian prawn toku. Amazing. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. It's a good one. It's really good. Oh, Shirley, you're admiring and eating them. Fantastic. Really, really good. Has anyone made them? Has anyone taken them out of the oil yet? I feel like everyone's got concentration face on the oil right now, which is fair enough. I get that. Okay, so now I've given it 20, 30 seconds. I can use my slotted spoon. Great, I can see it's not too hot. The colour is absolutely fine. This is what I want. They're formed individually. They're not breaking apart. If you did feel that they were breaking apart, you could add a little more gram flour so they hold. Make sure if you do add gram flour, you add a bit of pinch of salt, a pinch of chili, because every time you add something in, it will just dilute the flavour, okay? So just be mindful of little things like that. So I want to keep it at medium heat for about a minute, okay? And then we're going to go right up to maximum temperature and get them nice and crispy on the outside. How are we doing here? Shirley, you have fully cooked and a few half cooked. Fantastic. Dina, you've dug in. I hope you took a picture first. Denise, yours are out, looking crispy. Amazing. Natasha, I think you made them too big, but they taste amazing. Do you know what? It's fine as long as they taste tastes good. That's what it's all about. The only reason why I like to do small ones, A, they cook quicker. You don't run the risk of them looking like they're cooked on the outside, and then you open them up and they're gooey and soft. So with a smaller bite-sized one, it's a bit more even cooking. It's a bit quicker. It's a bit easier, especially if you're new to doing deep frying. But yeah, you do not need to deep fry it. You just need a pan. You just need the oil, and you just need to know about temperatures. If you are one of those cooks that likes to take temperatures of things, the temperature of the oil is roughly around 175 degrees. I've got one of those thermometers. Again, I very rarely use it unless, you know, I'm doing things like demos and I need to be perfect, or I'm recipe testing. But honestly, most home Indian cooks, they gauge how something looks, and if it's done by what it smells like, what it looks like, obviously. My mum used to tell me that she could tell, she still does, she says that she can tell by how it sounds. I think I need like another 10 or 15 years of that, because I'm not at mum level. Like, I used to be cooking in the kitchen and she'd be in the other room or she'd be upstairs. And I'd always ask her, you know, Mum, can you come and check? This is when I was learning. And she goes, no, I can tell that it's done. I'm like, can you come in the room and have a look at the pan? She's like, no, I can tell. What? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, she apparently all 5 senses are how you can tell. I don't know. Something to do with the confidence in my voice when I ask her or something, apparently. I don't know. Mom's A. How are we doing, guys? Give me a quick like if you are where I am. Hazel, you said you're finishing them off later on. You're cooking the tandoori chicken. That's really good, especially in this weather. The tandoori chicken will do well. Julie, you've already dug in. Lovely. So glad that you guys are enjoying these. Moira, you're almost done. They do smell amazing. And I've just put this up to maximum temperature for that last minute. These are done. I'm going to show you exactly what I did before. Can you guys see the difference when you just spend a little bit of time over the oil draining? So when they go on the kitchen paper, they are not greasy. This is the art to making an onion bhaji. If you're making fried chicken, you know, make sure you drain the oil off before you put it on any type of absorbent paper, because it's just going to sit in its grease, and that is not what we want. So how easy are these? How quick are they? They come together in a matter of minutes. What time are they? Let me check. I'm talking about how quick they are. 6:50. Not bad at all. And that's with me blabbering on quite a lot. I'm going to show you what I'm serving them up with. You can hear the crispiness. I'm just going to give my hands a very quick wash. But this is beautiful dal pakoras. They're so crispy. Okay, and I'm going to just plate them up in front of you as well. Where are we? So yeah, you can make these, half fry them, and then you can just finish them off tomorrow and you're good. Sorry, that's my DIY sink for cookery demos, as I'm not in the kitchen. My basin of water. Okay, let's serve these up. These are great on their own. Or I've got, if anyone did the tandoori, no, the Bombay sandwich, we did a green chutney. I put a link to it before, actually, coriander and mint chutney. I've just mixed it up with some Greek yogurt, some homemade Greek yogurt, by the way. We're now going to serve them up. So, can you hear how crispy they are when they're going on the plate? Yeah. This is what I love. So imagine being on the roadsides of India. It's raining. You know, you find a little bit of cover, and you just happen to be next to the pakora dude. And the pakora dude, that's his name, he has a wok which is probably about 10 times the size of this. And because it's so big, they actually sit on the floor. So the cooker's on the floor, they sit cross-legged, and they're just there with a slotted spoon 10 times the size of mine. And then they serve them up in a newspaper cone, probably about 20 at a time. And you're there, and it's raining, and these are hot, and it's spicy and crispy, and you're dunking it in a chutney. It's amazing. So yeah, I've been to India probably over 30 times, and I always get to try new street food every single time, and I always get the same reaction, always amazed. I never get bored of it. Look at that. We have our absolutely to die for Bengali dale bora, or Bengali lentil pakoras. which look absolutely amazing. This is a mountain of pakoras. If you want, these taste amazing at room temperature. You do not have to have them hot. Sometimes when I make these, so I'm not gonna lie to you, when I turn the video off, it's probably gonna be Monica and Debs, my husband, will conveniently walk down as soon as I click go off live, and he'll be like, "Oh, are you done? Smells good." And then he'll eat about half of them. And then if we don't finish them, I like to just hide a few and I put them in the fridge. If I don't want them today, I'll keep them in the fridge and maybe I'll eat them tomorrow. See, Debs has just put on YouTube, on my way. See? And I actually use them as a salad topper. So I often make a proper salad, I get really lovely Greek yogurt and coriander dressing on there, and I use it as a salad topper, maybe some cubes of toasted paneer, absolutely delicious. Or you can just dig in, like I'm gonna do. Really tasty, super crispy. It's got a kick to it as well. Please, please, please take a photo. I'm gonna put up another post after this on the Facebook page, and you guys can please post your photos of the recreations. My husband has walked in. Do you want some? I'm still live on camera. He doesn't want to show his face, his camera's on, but he's reaching for the pakoras. And yeah, please let me know what you thought. The full recipe will be on spicediary.com tomorrow. So if you want to catch up, you want to remake these on the weekend, you absolutely can do. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Also, there is a link to online tip jar for anyone. There is a link in the comments. If you wouldn't mind supporting, that would be really appreciated. That helps me to fund future lessons online. And speaking of the future, if you have been booked up on a cookery class that was cancelled because of COVID, keep an eye on the mailing list. If you are not on the mailing list, please go over to the website, spiceclubuk.com, and click on Cookery School. And if you're Manchester, please sign up to the Manchester class mailing list. And if you're in Birmingham, please sign up to Birmingham mailing list. And also, I am working on something right now that is incredibly exciting. I cannot reveal anything about it, but I will be able to very soon. If you would like to be one of the first people to be updated about it, there is a link that I've put in the comments as well, and I will be posting it in the post after this video. It's very exciting. If you want to master Indian cuisine, you might be interested in what I'm working on. I'm incredibly excited, and I will be sharing more as soon as I can, but I can't right now. It's a bit of a top secret situation. So yeah, really exciting news coming up. I'm also looking forward to being in school, opening up very soon as well. But COVID cancellation bookings will have preference. And then all other classes will go out to the public after that. I will now stop talking so you can now enjoy your food. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been another amazing session. And have a lovely, lovely weekend. And my husband is peering in. You're going to see his hand in a second. It's ridiculous. At least put your face on camera if you're going to steal. Unbelievable. Right, I'm going to sort him out. Thanks, everyone. Have a lovely weekend. Take care. Bye. Okay, we're off on Facebook. And then thank you very much also on YouTube. An absolute pleasure. Moira, really good to have you. And Sean, Jill, Ellie, thank you, everyone. Xander. Really, really good to have you all. Sorry, excuse the close-up of my face. I will see you guys in a couple of weeks' time. And I just need to end this. And then it doesn't look as easy as it should be. Sorry, you won't have a close-up of my ear for much longer, I promise. Okay. We're still on. We're ending, we're on. Oh, I know what to do. Force quit, I think, would be best. Thanks, everyone. See you later.